Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to Economicspedia and a very warm welcome to another session related to mathematical economics. So, in one of our previous sessions, we have discussed the difference and differential equations in great details. But in that session, we have promised you that we will come with some of the numerical examples of difference as well as differential equation. Now you can click on this card that is appearing on your screen in order to view the session on the numericals related to the differential equation, where I have discussed rigorously for the first order differential as well as for the second order differential equation. And today in this session we are going to discuss the numericals on the difference equation. And if any of you require a brief revision of the previous session or the general session on this mathematical economics like difference and differential equation, please feel free to visit on this link that is appearing on your screen, or you can also visit the two links given below in the description box as well. Alright, so today in this difference equation, I am going to start with the second order difference equation. Why not the first order, right? Because the first order difference equation is very much similar to the first order differential equation. Just the part where it is different is in the trial solution that we have to take up in order to find the complementary functions. So therefore that part will be repeated here only in the second order difference equation. So therefore, why not to jump only on the second order difference equation, which is very much important if you are clear with the concepts of the second order equations. It doesn't matter whether it is difference or differential. Obviously, the first order will be very much similar and easier for you. Okay. So, the second order difference equation, for the first order difference equation, again I am giving you a reminder, you can go through our previous sessions. The links of the previous sessions are given below in the description box. Kindly feel free to visit those sessions if you require a revision on the concepts of these topics written on the board. Okay. Alright. So starting with the second order difference equation, one of the important things that we have discussed in those sessions, that the nature of the roots, you remember, it was very much important, nature of the roots, because under this second order difference and second order differential equation we have few types of the roots. That is the reason why I am focusing only on the second order difference equation. Okay, so here we have to find the nature of the roots by the Sridharacharya's formula, and under that Sridharacharya's formula, if the determinant part of the formula is positive, equal to, or negative, then that means positive, greater than, equal to, less than 0. According to these three situations, we have three types of roots, and this is true for difference as well as differential equation of the second order. Alright, so let me just make you go through the nature of the roots in a very crisp manner. Let's say, okay, first of all, let me write down that Sridharacharya's formula so that you can relate this part. Alright, so let's say B1 and B2 are our roots. Okay, so this is equal to minus of A2 plus minus root over A1 square minus of 4A2 divided by twice. If this is our Sridharacharya's formula and I am focusing only on this square root part. So the first case, if my determinant A1 square minus of 4A2, let's say if it is positive, then obviously what? The roots will be real and it will be unique in nature. Second case, if this again A1 square minus of 4A2 is equal to 0, here also the root will be real. But here it is similar roots. The roots, that means B1 and B2, will be equal under this second case. Third case, this is where the confusion lies. A1 square minus of 4A2, if this is negative, then the roots become imaginary. Alright, the roots becoming imaginary. This is the case where you stuck up with the solution because of the imaginary part. That means root over imaginary. What do I mean by imaginary? There will be a real part as well as the imaginary part, and under that imaginary part there will be a part consisting of this small I, and here the students get confused, they are stuck and they can't move further. They simply can't get to the general solution that is required. Yes, this is the situation. So this is the reason I thought why not to take up this hard case. Alright, so let me just make you this case easier so that you never have to leave the question in your answer in your exam hall unanswered. Alright, so these two, okay. Another thing that you have to remember, that all these three cases, for all the three cases, there are three different general solutions are there. That means three different complementary functions are there. So you have to remember that, and simply you just put the values of B1 and B2 there, and there you have your final solution. But for this imaginary part, there is a bit of twist which I am going to make it easier for you. So stay tuned until the end of this session. So in order to make your confusion related to this part, so this is the question written on the board, the numerical question related to the second order difference equation. How you are going to identify it? Here you will find that the time period is +2. That means current period is YT, and the the next period, the upcoming period is YT +1, and upcoming period to that is YT +2. So this is how you can find that this is second order difference equation. Alright, and these two parts are again given, Y0 and Y1. We are all going to figure it out, why it is given, what is the purpose and everything. Alright, so let's get started without any further ado. First, starting with the particular integral. Alright, so for the particular integral, it gives us what? You have to remember this. It gives us the equilibrium condition of the model. And for this equilibrium condition, we have to take up one condition, that means YT +1 and YT +2. These all are equal, and I am going to represent it as YP since we are finding the particular integral. So if I put this YP into this equation, let me mark this equation as 1. Alright. So what do we have? We have YP minus of 2YP plus of 2YP, and this is equal to 1, isn't it? If I just simply put this into our next equation. So obviously from here we have our particular integral, and that is equal to 1. This is the solution, particular integral solution. Into this then the solution, if you can recall that there are two parts. One is the particular integral and the other one is the complementary function, right? So this is about the first half of the general solution we have identified. Now it's time for the second half, that is the complementary function. Now for the complementary function, I hope you remember that we need to make these equations, or we have to take up only the homogeneous part of the equation, right? That means nothing on the right hand side to the equal to. We have to make it 0. That means we are just taking up the homogeneous part. And also one more thing we have to take up in the complementary function. Can you recall that? Absolutely right. We have to take up a trial solution. And on the basis of the trial solution, we have to find out our complementary functions. So let's move toward finding the complementary functions, and let's make this equation homogeneous. Alright, so this is the part of the homogeneous that we have taken up out of the main equation, and I am going to mark it as equation number 1 dash. And this is the part that was given in the question, already given in the question. I have marked it, written it separately. Okay. So for the complementary function, as I have already mentioned, that we have to take up a trial solution. So let's define the trial solution for the difference equation. Now, trial solution. So before proceeding with the trial solution, let me also remind you that this complementary function is the solution where we find the dynamic equilibrium. That means change with respect to time, we are going to find it here into this complementary functions solution. Alright, so trial solution, here we will take the trial solution as yt equal to a b to the power t. Alright, here the difference is in the trial solution of the difference and the differential equation. Alright, so here in the difference we have to take a b to the power t, and under the differential equation we have to take a e to the power rt. Right, you can recall, right? Great. Okay, so this is yt. Now yt plus 1, the trial solution will be this thing, and I'm writing it adjacent to here. Yt plus 2, the trial solution will be a b to the power t plus 2. That is it. So here we have all the trial solutions. Now we have to substitute the trial solutions into our main equation, that is 1 dashed or 1 prime. Why? Because this is the complementary functions equation. So this is, I can replace this and let's substitute. So if I substitute this, then a b to the power t plus 2 minus a b to the power t plus 1 and plus a b to the power of t, this is equal to 0. We can take a small thing common, that is a b to the power t. We can take this part as the common part, and here we will find that we are left with b square twice of b plus of 2. Yeah, that's right. So this is the part, and here this a b to the power t cannot be equal to 0, because if that is equal to 0, then obviously we cannot take up this trial solution. Alright, so we have to go for b square minus b plus 2. This is equal to 0. So you can write it that a b to the power t can't be equal to 0. We have to apply the Sridharacharya's formula to find out the roots, that is beta 1, that is b1 and b2. So after applying the Sridharacharya's formula, we get this 2. That means I'm just applying the formula. Alright, you can find it that this is the solution that I'm getting, that is 1 plus minus I. Since there is I, that means it will have imaginary roots. Okay, so let's move further and solve this complementary function. So till now we don't have the complementary solution. Okay, we have to find it out. Alright, so this is our solution that we got, 1 plus minus I. I am going to divide it into two parts. That means we can take it h plus iv one part, that will be our 1 plus I, and the second part will be h minus iv, that means that will be 1 minus of I. Now one thing that you have to remember is that h plus iv, this is equal to r, under bracket we have cos theta plus of I and sin theta, this is theta. Alright, so by using this formula, we can find that h plus of iv into h minus iv is something that we got at as r square. So here we have to find out the value of r square, because why we are finding out these things? Because in order to get the complementary function, you can check the complementary function for the imaginary part of second order difference equation that requires the founding of this r square, the theta. Then we will be able to find out the final solution, final value. Alright, so that is why I am finding out this r square. So what we get? H square plus of I square v square, and here it will be r square. Now I square is the imaginary part, and that I is equal to root over minus 1. That square, that means it vanishes, that is because the value is 1. So therefore we have only this thing, and from here I am going to find out the value of r square. So that will be 1 square plus of, since it is I, so I square, that means it is again 1. So r square is what? 2. R square is 2, and therefore r is root 2. So we have found the value of r. One part is over. Next part. I have already told you that we have to find r as well as theta. Now let's find out theta. I'm going to find out here. I hope you can see it. Okay. So to find out theta, we have another formula. So this is one part that you have to remember. This is another part that you have to remember in order to solve for the imaginary roots of second order difference equation. So this is h square. H is defined as r into cos theta. This is the formula. So here we know the value of r, right? We know the value of h, and we have to find out the value of cos theta. So cos theta is equal to h by r. What is h? H is nothing but 1 by root 2, and we have to find out theta's value. Therefore theta is equal to cos inverse of 1 by root 2, and therefore we get the value of theta as pi by 4. So you also have to remember few of the values, trigonometric values of cos theta and sin theta. Only this part, for this part only you have to remember, for nothing else. And therefore it's very easy. Just remember sine and cos. You will be able to find the rest. Tan, cosec. Although those things are not needed for this econometrics part or for this mathematical part. So just go through that cos and sin theta. Alright. So we have the value of theta. We have the value of r. Now all we have to do, we have the ingredients. We just have to cook and serve the final solution. So let's move. Alright, since now we have all the parts, that means I have already told you we have the ingredients, we only have to substitute in the complementary function. So let's do it. The complementary function for second order difference equation with imaginary roots looks something like this. A1 r, this multiplied by cos theta I of sin theta, and this whole thing to the power t. This is one part, remember this is one part, plus we have a2, and again we have r, and this is cos theta minus I of sin theta, and this is whole to the power t. So this root 2 is the that is the value of r, and this is we know the value of theta, right? We only have to find out the value of a1 and a2. That is the only unknown part that we have. Although I can finish it off this session right at this point, but I don't want it, because I want all of you to understand how to solve it. Okay, don't lose that hope that, oh, this is imaginary roots, I don't know how to solve. Don't do that. If you are a member of this economicpedia, you are not supposed to think anything negative about yourself or about your abilities. Okay, so let's do it. Let's solve it. So if I put the values right over here, then I have a1. Before that, I can take one thing common, no? Root 2 to the power t, I can take common from both the terms. So let's do that, and then we will move further. Okay, so root 2 to the power t, this thing is common, gone. Okay, next a1, and this is equal to cos pi by 4 plus of I pi by 4, and the second part, that is a2 cos pi by 4 minus I sin pi by 4. This is the part we are left out, isn't it? Here we can take few things common. That means see, cos pi by 4, cos pi by 4. So we can represent this a1 plus a2 into cos pi by 4. Similarly, we can take this a1 plus a2 or a1 minus a2, and that will be multiplied by I sin pi by 4. So what I am going to represent as, I am skipping that part and I am simply jumping to the next part, that is I am representing a3, that is cos pi by 4, and minus, no not minus, a4 I sin pi by 4. What I did, a1 plus a2, this is I am representing as a3, and I multiplied by a1 minus a2, this I am representing as a4. This is the transformation that I have done. Alright, so now it's time to substitute in the general solution, because this is where our complementary function we have already obtained. to find out the values of this A3 and A4, we have to substitute it into the general solution in order to get this final solution. So let's do it. Okay. Time for general solution. What I'm reciting in a short form general solution. This is summation of what? Particular integral and complementary function. Now if you can recall, my particular integral's value was 1, isn't it? So just simply write it down. And my complementary function r to the power t, and we also have it, that is cos pi by 4 into t plus of a4 sine pi by 4 into t, because under the complementary function we have to the power t. Alright, so that definitely comes in. Now it is the time to find out the solution. So let us say if the time period is equal to the initial time period, that is, let's say it is equal to 0. Then we have the value of y naught. From where? See, this is where this thing comes in. Y naught. So this is equal to 3. And this, I just have to substitute this yt's value as 3. So that is what I am going to do. And this is 1 plus. Now this is root 2 to the power 0. So anything to the power 0 is 1. So that vanishes. And we have what? We have a3 cos pi by 4 into t. So this time t's value is equal to 0. Cos 0 is equal to 1. So I am just writing a3. And what happened to a4? Again here is t multiplied. So sine 0 is 0. Therefore this a4 vanishes because this thing is multiplied with 0. So from here simply we can find out the value of a3, that is equal to 2. But we have to find out the value of a4, right? So to find out the value of a4, this time we have to take the time period t equal to 1. Equal to 1, and here we have it y1. The value is given as 4. 4. So substitute it. 1. This time root 2 will remain. a3 into cos pi by 4 plus we have a4 sine pi by 4. Okay, let's solve it. So here is 1 and root 2. What is cos pi by 4? It is 1 by root 2. And sine pi by 4 is also 1 by root 2. But root 2 is here, so it gets cancelled out. Ultimately, what is it? 4 equal to 1 plus of a3 plus a4. We know the value of a3, right? We only have to find out the value of a4. So, if you just solve it, you will find the value of a4 to be equal to 1. That is it. So we have all the values and we are simply going to substitute it on the general solution. Okay. So this is our general solution and this is 1. This is root 2 to the power t. a3's value was 2, right? Cos pi by 4 into t. This is t plus a4's value was 1. So we can write it or not write it, doesn't matter. This is our solution. This is our general solution for second order difference equation with imaginary roots. So yeah, it is definitely time taking, but it is not something that you cannot do. Do attempt. See this session again if you required. Look at the minute and small steps in order to solve this solution. It is very much important. That is the reason why I am taking up this session into this economics video. Thank you very much. However, if you need some notes related to study material related to this difference and differential equation, some other questions as a exercise format, then definitely feel free to contact us. The contact details are given below in the description box and it is also appearing on the screen. Feel free to contact us. We are always there for you. and your queries will be answered soon. Thank you very much for watching this. I really hope to see you in one of my next sessions. Thank you.